And would need all the strength they could muster. Because after a decade of minor hits and middling album sales, Epic Records was running out of patience with REO's uneven ride.
And a vicious decision is driving me mad.
We realized that we needed to make a real record at that point in time, or this would probably go away. So we thought we were, at the end of our careers.
Should I follow my head or follow my heart?
I think this is the last chance we're going to get. So it kind of was like, this is the time to just don't hold anything back. Don't be afraid of anything. Don't be afraid that what you say in your songs might upset someone. Don't, just do it and just tell it all. Put it out there.
Kevin had always looked inward for inspiration. Now he found it in a wounded heart.
Things were pretty rocky and at home for me. The band had been really working hard, either in the studio or on the road all the time. Not a great set of circumstances for a marriage to flourish.
After 10 years together, Kevin says he and his wife, Denise, were unhappy and estranged. But from their turmoil, Kevin would craft a stunning triumph for REO Speedwagon.
I woke up middle of the night and kind of stumbled into my studio, and these words just started falling out.
Should have seen by the look in my eyes, baby, there was something missing.
Kevin worked all night, then took his ballad to the band, unsure how they would receive it after 10 years of pumping out hard rock riffs.
When I played Keep On Loving You for Everyone, they looked at me like I was from a different planet. I mean, for REO Speedwagon to play a piano ballad was just, it was unheard of.
It was very soft, and it's like this a little too soft for this band.
I think Gary at the time was just kind of going like, what am I supposed to do with this? He thought it was schmaltzy. He didn't care for it much at all.
But the rest of the band soon decided Keep On Loving You was a great song. Outmanned, Gary decided to go along, but he was determined to make a mark of his own on Kevin's catchy confessional.
I just kept wondering what it would sound like with a big Marshall and the band coming in and
He just played this raunchy sounding guitar chord over it. And Gary's guitar kind of captured the emotion of the lyric of the verses, that anger.
This potent mixture of anger and anguish would give birth to the power ballad and propel REO into the rock and roll driver's seat. Next, ballads boost the band's rocket ride to the top.
We kind of looked at each other and went, wait a minute, something must be going on here.
And later, REO struggles to get on the wagon.
Gary wasn't really happy with that arrangement. He just thought it wasn't rock and roll.
When Behind the Music continues. In the fall of 1980, REO Speedwagon seemed to be on its last lap. But as the band began recording their 11th album, they found new strength. Rejoined by Neil Doughty, REO discovered that their keyboardist breakdown had sparked a creative catharsis.
In the process of coming to the rescue of their fallen comrade, petty musical differences and ego battles just didn't mean anything. Everything got put into a very good perspective, and you hear that on that record.
With Take It on the Run, Gary Richrath contributed another stellar tune of romantic torment to a solid song list. Now all the new album needed was a title.
Everybody was high, and there was a lot of infidelity going around. And putting those two words together encapsulates our entire life.
Everybody was going through some pretty strange stuff, and that's where the album got its title.
So you think you're that you got it all figured out. Piece of sweet token stuff.
almost from the moment it was released, High Infidelity was a stunning smash. With 4 top 20 singles, including Don't Let 'Em Go, it would become the best-selling album of 1981, spending an astonishing 14 weeks atop the charts.
I remember getting the call saying the album just went to #1. I remember I was ecstatic.
You should have seen by the look in my eyes, baby. There was something missing.
Every dream I had as a 12-year-old kid standing in front of the mirror in my parents' bedroom with my 50 cent a week rental guitar pretending I was Paul McCartney ever had came true.
By the summer of '81, Kevin's songwriting risk, Keep On Loving You, had become a butane ballad for the ages. And the band that had played 2,000-seat venues for years was packing stadiums with adoring fans.
The crowd was singing louder than we were, and that really took me back.
The girls are all, staring at you longingly and singing every word, and for Keep On Loving You and stuff, we see couples are like embracing and kissing each other, and it's like, oh boy, these are wedding songs someday or something.
The High Infidelity record was our 11th record, and we kind of had the feeling that people were rooting for us. You just felt it. You felt it like people were behind us, and it was a great, great feeling.
The band had hit it bigger than they'd ever imagined possible. But as REO Speedwagon's success went into overdrive, so did their partying.
You're not held to the same standards of discipline that other people are. If you're an accountant and you throw a TV out the window, you're in jail the next day. If you're a rock musician, you're on the cover of Rolling Stone, you know what I mean? So your whole value system is skewed.
You don't have to pay for the party supplies anymore. Let's just say people are buying your drinks for you.
By the end of '81, nobody was partying harder than Gary Richrath. But while the rest of REO was living the rock and roll high life, Gary was becoming increasingly isolated and topping off drinking binges with cocaine chasers.
Cocaine was on the rise and stuff, and it just developed.
He was very creative, Gary, when he was alone. See, that's what I always thought he was doing. I always thought he was writing music on guitar and piano and recording.
The band spent almost a year on the road, burning up the charts and burning out after hours. By the time the tour ended, the Speedwagon was running on fumes.
Once you do all the partying and all the drinking and everything, it makes you tired, but in order to perform for the next evening, you sometimes have to stimulate yourself to get up for the show.
Okay, bye.
And after a while, that just becomes like a freight train that just never stops.
The band was burnt. The last leg of the tour was in Japan. And when we entered the country, my guitar roadie threw up on the customs agent as we came into Tokyo.
The band desperately needed a break, but instead they headed back into the studio within weeks of coming off the road. Feeling pressure to capitalize on the success of High Infidelity, they rushed their next album out in the fall of '82.